Home tax reform. The debate in the Senate is going to resume next week, but criticism of the tax bill passed by the House is piling up. Specifically, who benefits most from this plan? The Democrats haven't shied away from attacking the plan, saying it only benefits big business, rich people, and not the middle class. But one column in the Washington Post has an interesting take. It reads, quote, "This bill was never really meant to benefit individuals. It was meant to benefit businesses. And to that end, it succeeds. Big corporations should be very happy with its passage, and so should small firms like mine." Here with more, Washington Post columnist Gene Marks. Gene, you do have an interesting take on this. And I say that simply because, many in the tax community in particular, the analysis has shown that a lot of folks are worried about small businesses, in particular pass-through corporations, which I won't get too wonky with you today. But even Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin is worried about the House bill's effect on small businesses. He wants to make changes. What say you?
Yeah, listen, Cheryl, I'm a small business owner. I'm a CPA. We have about 600 clients that are mostly small and medium-sized businesses around the Philadelphia area, at least. And, listen, there are people that are complaining from the small business standpoint that the tax cuts aren't enough. But I like to remind my clients that, geez, you're still getting a tax cut here. And there are significant tax cuts for some and some tax cuts for most others, particularly if you run a small business. So I don't see why small business owners should be complaining. I think that it's nice that when I hear my clients always looking for more, because that's what it's like to run a small business. You're never happy where you are. You want to get more. But
let me tell you what the complaints are then, Gene. Because, again, 90% of small businesses in this country are pass-through corporations, in particular in high-tech states. Exactly. But many of these are in high-tech states, California, New York, New Jersey. Right. And their concern here is that in the language of the House bill, there are certainly provisions in here that make it more burdensome on them when it comes to how they declare the income. Again, I won't go into the details on that, but they're saying that they believe that that's a way to actually get more revenue out of them if you're the IRS, and that it's actually going to hurt them at the end of the day. And they're not going to have their tax rates. They're still going to be at that top 39% plus nominal rate.
Right. So where you see with tax rates itself for these kinds of small businesses, look, the average small business owner in the country, Cheryl, makes between $35,000 and $75,000 a year. So it's not just these tech businesses. I mean, those are the ones that get all the media attention. But really, when you think about small businesses, right, these are like restaurateurs and clothing shops and merchants and freelancers. I mean, that's really who makes up most of the 30 million small businesses that are in this country. And when they're in that range, remember the first $75,000 of income is taxed at a much lower rate, pass-through rate, a 9% rate, and then it caps out at 25%. So, listen, there are some small businesses, however you define them, people that employ up to 500 people, that might say, listen, I'm not getting as much of a tax cut as others. But I really think that the lion's share
But there might be more language in this bill, and that's what they're saying, that actually makes it more difficult for them to, especially in some of these some of the deductions for small business are going to be taken away. So that's on the small side. But let's get to the corporate side here with you, Gene, because the corporate tax cut, 20%, look, I'm with you, 35 to 20% for the corporate tax rate for the cut is great. I do believe that will certainly help large corporations. But you say it will help small businesses as well. I think you and I agree on this point.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, a couple of examples there. I mean, look at Fox News, right? I mean, the company that you work for, they employ many small businesses. They employ contractors, people that clean your offices, people that supply them with different services. These are all small business owners. I mean, most of my clients that are small business owners, they always have a few large companies that really make up a lot of the profits that they make. I mean, when big companies do well, that's good for small businesses. And in your case, right? I mean, good for you if you work for a large company. You go home and you buy pizza, right? You go to your local restaurants. You will shop on Small Business Saturdays. So, the more benefits I think that big companies have to employ more people, raise your salary, provide more benefits to you through tax savings, that trickles down to so many small businesses in people's communities. I think it's a really good thing.
No, and your point is 100% correct, in my humble opinion, as someone who works for a large corporation as well. Gene Marks, thank you very much. It's good to have you here. Happy Thanksgiving, Gene.
You too, Cheryl. Take care.